Just ahead this midday, the latest update from officials after an Iowa family is killed in a gas leak in Mexico. Plus, Omaha police investigate an overnight robbery, what we know this morning. And a big weekend here in town as we play host to the Elite Eight. What businesses have to say about it.
And a soggy start to the morning will continue for the afternoon. I'll let you know when we'll see clearing conditions take place.
Definitely ready for them. Thank you, Peta. 6 News live at midday is next.
From your home for news, this is WOWT 6 News Midday.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on this Monday. I'm Collin Ruane. Well, developing right now, a man is in custody after robbing the Buc-ee's. This near 76th and Dodge. Reports say a man wearing a Nebraska jacket and glasses jumped behind the counter and grabbed cigarettes, cash, and the cashier's wallet. Luckily, the man described was arrested just minutes later. We don't know at this point whether he was armed. The spring road construction blitz continues also with new closures starting today. Drivers near Offutt need to be aware of Fort Crook Road. That's because it's now closed between Capehart and Fairview in Bellevue. The 2.5-mile stretch will remain closed for 2 months. You see it marked on our map there. Crews will be realigning the road. And we have a traffic alert that will impact drivers by the Henry Doorly Zoo. The ramp from 13th to get on I-80 West is set to close tonight at 10. It will remain closed for 30 days, according to the Nebraska Department of Transportation. Crews will be working on the pavement construction. Well, happening now, just into our newsroom, a prosecutor blames a gas leak that killed an Iowa family on a water heater. Newly released pictures you see there show investigators running tests inside the condo where the Sharp family died. They were killed after inhaling toxic gases, but where that gas came from has not been confirmed. The bodies of Kevin and Amy Sharp, as well as their kids Sterling and Adriana, were found Friday. The family is from Creston. Amy's father lives in the metro in Bellevue. Just heartbreaking. A spokeswoman for the prosecutor's office says it's too soon to comment on whether the owner of the condo could be held liable for the family deaths. New developments this midday. Another woman is telling her story. She says she was sexually assaulted by an employee at an Omaha recycling center. She's at least the third woman to report the alleged attacks to Omaha police. The woman says she was sexually assaulted twice by an employee at Alters Recyclables. That's in North Omaha. She's so afraid she asked us not to reveal her identity. It took her nearly 9 months to feel strong enough to file a police report. In it, she names Eduardo Fierro as her attacker. The woman's daughter translated for her, telling 6 News she was cashing in aluminum cans when Fierro pushed her against a wall, taking pictures as he assaulted her. So far, all these cases are misdemeanors right now. Fierro is in jail for a felony. He's accused of soliciting a prostitute just a few days ago. His bond is set at $55,000. Well, switching gears now to our hour-by-hour forecast. A chilly start to the week, Peta, and it looks like maybe a little bit longer before the sun comes back.
That's right. We are dealing with those chilly
All right, Peta, I guess it could always be worse, right?
That's right. We could be dealing with snow.
All right.
Not the case.
For sure. Thank you. We'll check in with you a little bit later. Well, back to national news. The adult film star who claims she had an intimate encounter with President Trump more than a decade ago says she was threatened when she tried to go public. Stormy Daniels has now told her story to 60 Minutes. Tracy Potts has the latest from Washington. Coverage back here in the Heartland now. March Madness has come and gone in Omaha, but you can still feel the excitement here. Even the cold March rain couldn't keep the basketball fans away from the CenturyLink Center. The top 2 teams, Kansas and Duke, brought fans from all over under one roof. The Elite Eight matchup even attracted fans whose teams didn't make it this far. As people take in the last of everything NCAA, so are area businesses. The old mattress factory general manager Peter Violi says this tournament gave his business a nice little spring break from what's normally a slow time of year. Mecca officials expect to have an update later today on how things went overall at the CenturyLink Center this weekend. Now Omaha's looking forward to hosting its next big sporting event. That is the College World Series. The Nebraska Unicam is working against the clock to address the issue of prison overcrowding. This week, lawmakers are expected to start debating measures to reduce the inmate population. Nebraska faces a 2020 deadline to drop the inmate population from 160% of design capacity to 140%. If that doesn't happen, the state could be forced to start paroling all eligible inmates. There are still 12 working days left in the current session. Lawmakers say they believe it's possible to take action this year. Well, more women than ever are running for elected office in Iowa. It's part of a surge driven by female Democratic candidates across the country, motivated by the election of President Trump. Data shows 98 women are expected to have their names on the ballot in Iowa for June 5th. That's the primary date. It's a 44% increase from the 68 women who ran in 2016. Well, just ahead in our consumer coverage, how old are your credit cards? A new study shows holding on to them for a long time isn't the best idea. What the experts recommend next. This is 6 News, live at midday. Welcome back in our consumer coverage. Bad news for drivers. Gas prices are on the rise. They're up about 7 cents a gallon in the past 2 weeks alone. The national average now stands at $2.66 a gallon. That's 30 cents higher than it was a year ago. Analysts say the main reason for the hike is the cost of oil right now, the steep cost. Experts say prices could go up another 10 to 15 cents if the cost of oil keeps going up. It could revolutionize drone delivery. It's a new Amazon patent that can sense human actions. Reports say the device would be outfitted with cameras and sensors that could recognize gestures like a person waving and shouting, all to shed light on just how the delivery process may actually work. It's not clear if the patent will lead to an actual product. A new report out today says hanging onto your credit card is probably not the best idea. It's something millennials have already figured out. We get the latest now from NBC's Chris Clackham.
NBC News.
It is a gloomy one out there today. You're taking a live look at our American National Bank camera at 90th and Dodge. When can we expect things to clear up? Meteorologist Peter Sherwood's in next with our hour-by-hour forecast.
While you're heading out to lunch, or even when you're picking the kids up.
For sure. It seems like these quick bursts of warmth, they're only a day or two for sure.
I think they call that something here.
Do they? What do they call it?
Just spring in Nebraska and Iowa.
There you go. Well, coming up next, we're the final days of Colon Cancer Awareness Month. You'll hear from doctors and patients about how getting screened can be a lifesaver. It's up next in Family Health.
You're watching 6 News live at midday.
Welcome back in Family Health. The number of drug-related deaths in the U.S. has spiked over the past 2 decades, but some areas are more affected by the crisis than others. Drug deaths were significantly higher in places like Oklahoma, parts of the Southwest, and Northern California, but they were much lower in parts of the Northeast, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, and the Great Plains. Well, 26,000, that is the number of kids treated for hoverboard injuries the first 2 years they were sold right here in the U.S. A New York Presbyterian Hospital study tracked ER records from 2015 and 2016. It showed fractures, contusions, and sprains were the most common hoverboard injuries. And despite the headlines, there were no reported burns from malfunctioning batteries. Get some good news there. Colon Cancer Awareness Month, meanwhile, is coming to a close. That means doctors want you to know how important getting a screening is. In some cases, it could save your life. NBC's Megan Reuther reports. Well, still to come, Tiffany Haddish. She's had quite the year following the success of Girls Trip. Funny movie right there. Now she's getting ready for a much different project. We'll fill you in up next in the Hollywood Minute. You're watching 6 News live at midday.
For 6 News, I'm Dustin Dales.
Some good moves right there.
Yes.
Be nice to get a lesson from Mark Anthony.
I don't think a lot of people are doing those moves outside for today because we're just dealing with the rain and it is coming down. You can warm up to 65 degrees on Wednesday.
Woohoo.
Slight chance for rain, though, and wintry mix going into the overnight. Into
There you
Thursday.
go. Well, I'll be watching Wednesday very closely, though.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you back tonight live at 5.
WOWT 6 News is everywhere. Download the WOWT 6 News app today. Available in the App Store and Google Play.
This is 6 News live at 10.